it's rough, and it may get a little bit more rough because there's somebody in chat who just asked us, would Chains of Domination be like Rise of Ashara, basically? That's from Arctis Rain. Now,
it basically has to be, I think.
It has to be, but it's clearly not.
Yeah.
So, ish. It has to be in that people need a big, exciting shot of fun. Yes. And I actually do think the 9.1 is going to give us that. Like, it's got a mega dungeon. I'm happy. So that's all awesome. On the world content side, though, it's Korthia. Now, Korthia is not a new zone. Korthia is basically, I think, a sub-zone of the Maw. Well, actually,
yeah, I don't think we know, do we?
They've sort of said it like it's a new bit of the Maw, a new area of the Maw, but they've given us no details on what that actually is. So, in the worst case scenario here, what Korthia is imagine, like, you've got the Beast Warrens, and you've got, like, all of those segments of the Maw. Imagine you slap another one on, you call it Korthia, but you put a bit more time and effort into it. It's got a few trees and some dreadlords, and it feels a bit more cool and new. That's our worst case scenario, and that, I believe, does come along with an overall revamp of the Maw gameplay. So it's less of a patch 7.3 in that it's humongously ambitious in giving us a really big new chunk of stuff, and it's, I think, going to be more of a patch 7.2. 7.2, if you remember, was the Broken Shore. And that basically just reused the launch scenario, but put a smattering of mechanics through it. So it was stuff we'd really already felt and seen. It didn't feel new, but it was like, hey, there's new stuff for you to go and do.
Yeah, it was pretty actually smart in terms of content reuse, because they built all that for the scenario. I imagine they had it. They imagine they had the intent to come back to that later, and that's why they're happy to make it. But at the end of the day, it was like, okay, you remember this, now you're coming back to it under a different set of circumstances. You now have all your artifacts. You know, have some sort of foothold vaguely against the Legion. You're taking the fight to them. So I think that actually was a very smart bit of content reuse. But I get what you mean. It was a decent amount of content as opposed to loads.
Yeah. It felt a little more close to a patch 8.3.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what's your cool new world content? It's some assets from the raid and a screen filter. In zones that you already know.
Brutal.
So, if they can get the Maw gameplay being fun, like if they just redo the Maw and they throw in Korthia, then to me that actually could be a fun enough gameplay experience, because I've not made myself sick of the Maw. I've not made myself sick of the Maw. I've not made myself sick of Torghast. I haven't made myself sick of world quests in this expansion. I did that a while ago. So I think I'm not coming into this with as much of the default aggression. As much as people may skim read the titles and stuff of the Clips channel, I'm actually not coming into this with the aggression that I see in most of our comment sections. And that's mostly because I've learned how to enjoy modern World of Warcraft for me. And I think a lot of that came with accepting that modern WoW is made by, I think, a pretty different team and has pretty different goals and sensibilities to the WoW that I used to play. So then it was more of a case of, well, if this is what the game is now and I accept it for what it is, how can I get fun out of it? Turns out I can. So that means that whenever they do a Torghast revamp and a Maw revamp, to me, I'm like, oh, exciting. That's basically new places for me to go and do things. But if you look at chat, you've got, Maw and then vomit emoji coming from people. You've got somebody else saying, oh dear, Benthic gear is going to come back. And for me, I'm like, oh, Benthic gear. That would be awesome. I'd love that to come back. But then I remember, oh yeah, I never did the Benthic lottery, because I looked at the Benthic lottery and thought, great. Well, I will never do that in a million years. So to me, the Benthic stuff was just, yeah, here's a way to get some gear from doing that world content in that zone. And I was happy enough with it. And it gave me some upgrades where I could plan those things for my character. I was like, okay, cool. This is all fine and good. Thumbs up. But because of, the WoW team having the utterly baffling decision of saying that, oh, Benthic gear and the lottery, the cat's out of the bag. We can't put it back in. Them doing that kind of ruined the Benthic gearing for people. And now people are worried about future gearing systems. The way they sort of force people into the Maw and Torghast. And then that makes them sick of the mod on Torghast, which then means that whenever Chains of Domination comes out, and, you know, maybe key features of it are, hey, the Torghast game loop is now vaguely something that resembles a game design, instead of whatever utterly baffling bullshit they launched with, hey, we're going to bribe you into this, and there's no other rewards other than the bribe. Do it, player. You know, there's just going to be so many people are they're going to be burnt by that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely fall 100% under that category. I think this might have been something I was saying last week, or maybe I thought I said it, I don't know, but I really want to play World of Warcraft almost all the time.
Same.
I would absolutely love to have all the reason in the world to just go home every day and play for like 3 or 4 hours and then go to bed. It would be fantastic. But I really want to do that, but the game won't let me. And I think it's the case of I haven't gone super hard on alts or anything this expansion. I'm not, like, I don't even think I'm max rep with Venari because I hated them all that much. But that's because I made myself completely sick of it as soon as possible. Same with Torghast, where I did so much Torghast when you had to grind up layers on alts before they were account wide. And I've just spent so much time in that game. Blizzard have to do quite a lot to dispel my anger and win me back, because I've been playing the game a little bit wrong, because I've wanted to play the game the way I want to, and they just won't actually let me do it.
Well, no, you haven't played it wrong. You played it as designed. Getting the Maw. You were getting the Maw, and you were getting Torghast. That is as designed. Now, I looked at that, and I thought, as somebody for whom game design stuff is incredibly interesting, the game loop of taking my WoW character through Torghast and getting all these cool, wacky powers, that is awesome. But I looked at Torghast, and I mean, I don't even know if I've done I think I might have done a layer 8. Basically, I have an item level 210 of the, it's the Serpent Sting Marksmanship Lego.
Serpent Stalker strip.
No, I have that, and I also have the Embers one, Soulforge Embers, because it looked like it could be good. It's not really the one you want to use now, though. Anyway. I've got those at eye level 190, and then eye level 210 for the one I actually use. And that's entirely because I just looked at the way the Blizzard designed that progression loop. I thought, why? Why would you do this to me? I refuse to play this. So the way that I've been able to not be sick of World of Warcraft and to actually enjoy it is to basically reject the bits the Blizzard design quite often and try to just grab the gameplay that I like, which, you know, is the raiding. Now, obviously, there's other things which I'd love to do. You know, getting into PvP and all of that stuff. It's like genuinely exciting for me and stuff that I'm nowhere near sick of. Just a few other things have got in the way. But it's just that interesting thing of they have designed a game that you can make yourself so sick of, seemingly because they're completely unwilling for it to be okay for you to quit and then come back. They want to lock you into that 6-month sub. But even that with the 6-month sub, to me, it's like you're locking, you know, you put all your eggs into getting people to buy the 6-month sub to get, you know, around when a patch or expansion comes out so that they can get the mount. And it seems like a great deal and all that jazz. But then you sort of design the game in this frustrating way that's always egging them to keep on going and going and going. All that's going to happen is you're going to make people feel bad about their purchase.